Let me ask you this. How many of you want to become a national vice president someday or earn a six-figure income with Arbonne? And by the way, it's okay. The great thing about this business is, it's kind of like I was thinking, I've never run a marathon. Anybody run a marathon in this room? Half? Okay. Well, my husband ran one. There's so much we can learn from that. But, some people sign up for the marathon and some walk. Some people are in wheelchairs. You want me to do it right? Or are we okay? Okay. Some people are going for a personal record, right? A PR. Some people are in it to compete. They're trying to, make the Boston Marathon. It doesn't matter, right? Anybody can enter and go at the pace and have the goals that they want. And I believe that's the same with Arbonne. But for those of you that do have big goals, we always say act as if. So one tip that national vice presidents do is they listen to Donna Johnson's SoundCloud calls every Saturday, the Go for the Gold calls. And I just was thinking of one of the calls a couple weeks ago. Not sure how many of you heard Wendy Cunningham's call on vision, but bingo, it's right. What Art said when she decided she wanted to become an MVP because we get a trip to Maui every January. She pictured her toes in the sand in Maui. I mean, she felt it. And so she had this mantra of toes in the sand, right? And it was done. And so I appreciate what Art said. It's so true. It works. And another thing that you said that's so great is about habits. I've heard, show me your habits, I'll show you your future, right? But isn't it true that we've got to have the right mindset to create those habits? So thank you so much, Art. Okay, so let's see, RE9 said, okay, I am going to show you just a portion of our new RE9 group presentation. And now in the past, we have done presentations based on our two core product lines, Healthy Living and Nutrition, and RE9. Those are our best sellers. We know we have over 300 products, but these are our top sellers. These are our anchor products that we start with. And once people get an account with Arbonne or start the business, they're gonna start switching their products over and using everything Arbonne offers that can benefit them and their family, because they're gonna understand the standards that Arbonne has and why you wanna do that. Let me back up just a bit and help everybody understand that this business is pretty simple. I love what ENVP Lisa Voorhees said at GTC, that what we do is we reach out, present, we follow up, and repeat. We reach out to people. Art and Pamela are gonna talk about that a little bit later. We present. When I say present, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the RE9 drop-off, loaning people an RE9 set. Our goal is always to give them as much of the big picture as possible, okay? And so that's when we say present. We wanna get personal and have a little one-on-one time with them. So we reach out, present, we follow up. This business is all about follow-up. There are stories all over the place of people who talked to somebody years earlier and life circumstances changed after they followed up for years. And now they're a national vice president on their team. Okay, repeat, and we teach that. And so as we reach out and present, there's different ways to present, right? We can do one-on-one, in a coffee shop, wherever, over Zoom. It's so fun. If you have a laptop, you can do this business with anybody around the globe that Arbonne does business in. Or you can do a group. What's a group? More than one person, okay? And so I'm gonna first talk about our group presentation and then our one-on-ones. Now, as far as the group presentation goes, I was teaching my team to do the core presentation and present both, okay? And here's what we found. I have a lot of experience in presenting, and so it was pretty simple for me. I could even poll the audience and say, okay, we have 8 people here. How many are more interested in nutrition? Raise your hand. How many are more interested, you get more excited about skincare? And maybe 5 would raise their hand for nutrition and 3 with skincare, or vice versa. And I would be able to adapt in my mind the presentation and how much I'd spend on both. But what we've realized is that is not easy for everyone. And when we are presenting information about the anti-aging line, they're gonna be spending around $300. Is it worth it? Absolutely. A lot of people are spending $200 and completely wasting their money because it doesn't work. So yes, but we found that it's helpful to give a little bit more information, give them something there. And so we now have a core option for those that want to use it. Donna Johnson offers it on her website, but we also have more of a specific RE9 presentation and more of a specific healthy living. Now, what I like to do, and I'm just going to go over the RE9 part, the new part that we've done. We put everything on cards. We can send you the link to have it printed at Office Max. It's very professional. The back has the AA. Large print for those of you like me whose arms aren't long enough. And so you can just, and what's so great is I tell my group, hey, I'm going to use my cards just so I can stay on track. And remember, everything we do, we're training people. They're looking at us and saying a couple things. One, can I do this? Two, do I want to do this? Right? And so we want to show them that we could literally hand them this script and they could go do a presentation tomorrow. Okay? There was one other thing I wanted to mention before I started, and so this is specific to RE9, but before we get into RE9, we're going to do a background of why Arbonne. We're going to tell our 3-minute I story. We're going to talk about the Arbonne difference, and then before I start into the RE9 Advanced products, I share a couple of my favorites. Takes 30 to 60 seconds, just to give them my idea of other things that we offer. And I say, hey, we're going to be focusing on RE9 tonight, but I've just got to tell you really quickly about our other core product line and our 30 Days to Healthy Living plan. And we have some notes on here to touch on it. My goal is to build enough curiosity that when I close, there are some people that may even purchase that package, okay? But also when we close, we can say, you know what, after they purchase the RE9 set, you should have a get together. We have what's called a healthy happy hour. People will thank you for inviting them. Ton of value is given to your guests, and we'll be sharing all about this plan. It's so fun to do it with your friends. And so the goal is to have them set up an opportunity for their friends to do a healthy living if you're doing the RE9, okay? Same goes for healthy living presentation. We focus on that, but before we say, hey, you guys, we're going to focus on healthy living tonight, but I have to tell you, our anti-aging line is incredible. There's no other line on the market that has cleaner ingredients that gets these results. None. Okay, that's one of the things I say in here. And by the way, the more bold we are, whether it's one-on-one when we bring somebody a set to their home or whether it's in the group, the more interested people are. Sometimes we're afraid of being bold and passionate because we don't want people to think that we're being pushy or overbearing. I'm telling you what, if we act blasé about what we have to say, they're going to think it's not a big deal and they're not going to be interested. So we want to make sure we have passion. So as I present, just remember, you don't have to write down what I say because it's all right here and you're going to get it. But write down some things you notice that you think is effective, kind of sitting in an audience, listening to me talk about RE9. And then I'm going to ask you at the end, okay? Are y'all ready? Okay, let's go for it. So, okay, now I get to share RE9. This is my absolute favorite product line. I believe there are no cleaner products in the market that get these kind of results. And this whole product line is formulated to not only slow down the aging process, but to reverse it. And we have clinical trials to prove it. So RE9 stands for Rebuild, Repair, and Rejuvenate. And Dr. Peter Matravers, who's the head of product development, he actually was with Aveda. He took Aveda from a $15 million company to a $700 million company. And actually, he left because the standards started changing. And he is meticulous, has studied on every continent, very meticulous about standards. So I've got to share this quote with him because this is so important and gives you just a window into why our products work and why you'd want to consider them over some of the other products on the market that use harsh chemicals. So Dr. Peter Matravers says, RE9 competes with products that are sold at a medical level. Formulas that rely on strong chemical ingredients can't tell the difference between healthy and sluggish cells, and they stimulate both equally. Healthy cells that are overstimulated can burn out and accelerate aging. Are you kidding me? I mean, I always say I live kind of on the borderline of Scottsdale. I can throw a stone and hit a med spa, like in any direction. And so people are spending $800, $1,000, $1,200 on very expensive product lines. We've already talked about how these ingredients absorb into our system. Can they see a difference? Yes, but over time, I think it's kind of like chemotherapy, right? Hey, the good news is we need it to kill those bad cells that are wreaking havoc in our body. Bad news is they're wreaking havoc on our healthy cells as well, okay? So the unique thing about RE9 is our formulas can target only the sluggish cells, and long-term, your results increase. So let me ask you this. How would you describe, if you saw somebody that had just the perfect skin, how would you describe beautiful, healthy-looking skin? I'd love to ask you guys. What are some of the components of that? Smooth, okay? Bright, right? Kind of a glow, natural, yes. That's one thing about some of the chemical treatments. You've seen there's kind of a waxy look that, kind of like a too orange of a tan. Something's just not right, What else? Hydrated, yes. Have that as one of my bullets that I thought of. Yes. Yep, natural. Radiant. We talked about smooth. What about even skin tone? Okay, so we live in Arizona. I know at times we've been number 2 in the world for skin cancer next to Australia, but also it can cause a lot of discoloration, which, I look at my 9-year-old, he doesn't have discoloration on his skin. So a youthful look is to have an even color as well. So the skin ages, let me just give you a little lesson on how the skin ages. It ages in 2 different ways. So it ages biologically, which they call intrinsic aging, and environmentally, extrinsic aging. So biologically, okay, it's just a bummer, it's a fact of life. Over time, our bodies decline, right? We age, and as far as our skin goes, collagen and elastin production declines, it slows down. So we lose strength, we lose firmness, we lose the ability for it to bounce back. And the skin's thickness decreases. Have you noticed, older people, their skin is almost kind of translucent. It's thin, it can't hold as much water, right? So this causes sagging and wrinkling. So let me ask you this, what percentage of our skin's aging is biological? What would you say? Take some guesses. 10%, 60% biological, okay? Because a lot of times we're like, oh, they have good genes. 50%? 50%, okay. The answer is 10%, right? It's nice to have good genes, but they only can go so far. So I guess that's good news, right? 90% is environmental, so we can do something about it. And when I say environmental, I'm talking diet, okay? Nutrition makes such a difference. Sugar, we have health coaches in the audience here. Sugar kills collagen and elastin, okay? So our diet can make a difference. And we talked earlier about the skin's the largest organ, right? We need to feed it healthy nutrition. When we start feeding our body well, it changes and we notice a difference. You feed your skin, it changes. Smoking, stress, pollution. But what is the biggest cause of aging environmentally? The sun, okay? So let me give you another picture of what this looks like. If we cut an apple in half and left it out on the counter, what happens to it over time? It browns. Why? It's oxidizing, okay? What about oil? What do we call oil that starts to get old? Rancid, right? We start to smell it. That's oxidizing. How about iron? Like an iron fence left out in the elements. What happens over time? It rusts, okay? So it's oxidizing. And guess what? We're oxidizing too. The good news is we can protect ourselves. So what do you do to that apple to prevent it from browning? Squirt lemon juice on it. What's in the lemon juice that helps protect it from oxidizing? Antioxidants, okay? And so antioxidants help fight those free radicals, right? So antioxidants in our skincare can help prevent the damage too. Now, many of you probably know, you've heard on the market, the most powerful antioxidant we can use in skincare is what? Vitamin C. Okay, what most people don't know, and why there's a variety of price points, right, and a variety of benefits people get in their skin, is not all vitamin C is the same. Some, you open it up, it oxidizes, and it has no benefit, okay? So Arbonne uses a stabilized vitamin C and, get this, orange stem cells, okay, to improve skin's radiance, texture, elasticity, firmness, moisture, and you visibly see and feel a difference when you get these products on your face. I'm telling you, you just need to get these products on your face, and you will see and feel a difference. It's incredible. Arbonne also uses brown algae extract, sea buckthorn ceramide with essential fatty acids and olive fruit oil, and peptides to firm and tone the skin and replace moisture. Now, how many of you are label readers when it comes to your food? Okay, great. How many of you are label readers when it comes to your skincare? Okay, not as many, right? And remember, we talked about healthy nutrition for the skin. It's your body's largest organ. What we put on it absorbs, and the nutrition in your products is going to affect the results you get. So let's quickly talk about the RE9 benefits. I have the set here, and we have, there's 5 steps in this set, okay? Now, this should not take anyone no longer than 2 minutes in the morning or 2 minutes at night, all right? People have told me it doesn't take 2 minutes, it takes a minute. All right, you know, whatever. It's not gonna take more than 2 minutes. And all I'm saying is, some of you may be tempted to say, I don't have time, okay? Believe me, everyone has a minute or 2 minutes at most to make a difference in the area of our body that we wear every single day. Oftentimes we'll spend money on an outfit that we wear once a month, twice a year, right? And think about that outfit. If we wore it every single day, would our investment increase or decrease? Over time, we wear it out, okay? Our face is going to get better and better as we take the time. 2 minutes, okay? So step 1 is the wash. And what I love about the wash is it's a gentle lather, add water, and once you rinse it off, your face feels hydrated, unlike many products in the market where the wash dries you out. Incredible benefits and ingredients in it. Step 2 is the toner. Some people don't think a toner is necessary. This is a spray mist, okay? It probably takes you 2 seconds. 1, 2, just mist it on your face. And this is infused with antioxidants A, C, and E, and it actually puts your skin back into pH balance after splashing it with water, which is not balanced. I'm telling you, our bodies are amazing, and when our skin is out of balance, sometimes it takes up to an hour to return to pH, and when we use this, now it's ready for the next step, okay? What I love too is it's airtight, okay, and pre-metered. So step 3 is the serum, and I'll tell you what, this is the powerhouse product. So this is the eye cream. Our serum right here. This is a multivitamin for your face, and it's clinically proven to increase the production of collagen and elastin, which again, all those things that we talked about, visibly firms and smooths and helps with the uneven skin tone. It even helps with sunspots and acne scarring over time. There's alpha and beta hydroxy acids in it that helps with cell turnover. When we're little, we replace, cells that die, and we have new ones all the time. As we age, it becomes slower and slower, sometimes up to a month to replace those new cells. This is gonna speed it up, okay? Alrighty. Step 4 is the eye cream. Now let me ask you this. Why do we need a separate eye cream? Why can't we just put the day cream up here? I mean, is it a kind of a scam just to sell something else? Anybody know?
Your eyes are different. Your skin is different around your eyes.
Yes, what's different about the skin around our eyes? It's thinner, okay? Anything else? The pores are smaller. right? We have no bone structure. So yes, actually the eye cream is designed differently to penetrate those small pores and to support that delicate tissue. What I love about this product is it helps with dark circles. We also have a lifting eye cream for people that are over 40 or feel like your skin's starting to get thinner and you need a little bit of a lift as well. Okay, so step 5, so we've gone through that boom, 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 right? 45 seconds or so. Step 5 is either the day cream in the morning or the night cream at night. Now again, why 2 different creams? Why can't we use the same day and night? Does anybody know? Nobody knows. Yeah, yes, right. So we have a great audience here that's very educated. But most of the time, people don't know that much. So I always say, so just a little tip. In the day is designed to protect. The night is designed to correct. So our day cream is designed to stay closer to the surface of the skin, to lock in moisture, to protect with that SPF. Whereas the night cream is designed to penetrate more deeply. At night, we heal, our cells regenerate. So our night cream is going to work while we're sleeping on doing any repair that we need at night. And the thing I love about the day cream, it has the SPF 20, but it doesn't have that greasy SPF feeling, right? That a lot of products with sunscreen in. And the night is phenomenal. I need to find an explanation for it because every time I want to say it's like whipped cream, but that would feel weird on your face. Butter would feel greasy. It is phenomenal and just absorbs right in. And I'm telling you, when we have people start using these products, you can call them the next morning and say, how do your cheeks feel? And they're just like, oh my gosh, it's so smooth and hydrated. People start noticing a difference right away. Okay, so we're going to talk later about becoming a preferred client. And when you become a preferred client, you can get each product individually for 20% off. You can choose which ones out of the line you want. What I emphatically recommend is that you get the whole set. And the neat thing is when you get the whole set and add it to our Genius pads, or add our Genius pads to the set, Arbonne will double the discount on the individual products. And now you'll save, instead of 20%, 40% on the entire set when you add the Genius pads. Okay? Now what are the Genius pads? If I had them here with me, you'd see them. But just quickly, Genius pads they're called nightly resurfacing pads. Now, I know one guest here absolutely loves when you see a street resurfaced, right? Like when the 101 was resurfaced, you're like, oh, I'm just in heaven driving down the freeway. But I too, I mean, when a street's resurfaced, I love it. What do we love about a resurfaced street, or what do we notice?
No bumps.
Right,
Smooth.
no bumps, it's smooth, what else? Yes, it's quiet, one even color, right? No light gray with all of the, lines in it. And so that's the goal of our Genius resurfacing pads. That's what they're proven to do, is to resurface our skin. And so basically we get 60 pads, a bottle of our botanical retinoid product. Now, have you guys heard of retinol products at the dermatologist? Okay, they work, they do. They work to resurface the skin. The problem is with the chemical ones is they're harsh. You have to deal with redness and dryness and your skin flaking off, okay? This botanical retinoid will resurface your skin without all of those side effects, okay? Because we have herbs and botanicals that are the base of it. And the great thing about adding this to the set and getting the big discount, the 40% off, is your investment is so worth it, right? We wear our face every day. Lastly, I'll just say the Genius Ultra tool. With a minimum order, you can add this patent pending tool to it. And what this does is boost the benefits. I see it as a week of skincare. You're gonna get the benefits of using it for 3 weeks. Why? This is an ultrasound tool that, okay, you're not gonna believe me, but I'm telling you the truth. It emits 300,000 ultrasound waves per second, okay? Why? Why would we apply our eye cream and use the ultrasound tool on top of it? Well, it only can penetrate so far. These ultrasound waves help it penetrate. It helps them distribute more evenly. What we've seen is the surface of the skin have ridges, and the product does not apply evenly. Much of it is lost in our fingers. And so when you use this tool, it's unbelievable to see the results. We have incredible before and after pictures to share with you as well. So you can find professional ultrasound tools for $1,000 online. You can go look up ultrasound facials. You know, for several $100s, you can get a facial with an ultrasound tool, or you can own one in your home. It's just an additional $99. And I believe it just absolutely boosts the benefits of your product. Alrighty, so next we'd move into the clothes, and we're not gonna do that right now. So, okay, that's the RE9 portion of the presentation. So what did you notice that you thought was effective about the way I presented that?
Your excitement.
Okay, excitement, right? So,
Eye contact.
Okay, eye contact, great, except I know I didn't make eye contact with you all. Okay. Hello. Okay, it's weird. Do you find this sometimes with speaking where you favorite one side? Or no? Okay, because he's a pro, right? But I sometimes, I don't know why, go to this, or I'll pick certain people. I guess the ones that are smiling back, then you need that assurance. You keep looking at them. But anyway, okay, that's great. Eye contact. Okay. So participation, asking questions. Okay, benefits, great. So let's talk with the questions. What benefit is asking questions? What did that do for you? Okay, super. So it helps people listen actively, right? Instead of just being talked to, the information's just coming at them. But when they've got to engage their mind and think, it's like that antenna is going up and they're ready for the answer, right? And it means more when they get that answer, okay? And then, of course, speaking in terms of benefits. So we have listed here a fact and a love for each product, okay? Because we could just say it has C. buckthorn ceramide. What in the world does that mean? We've got to talk about what that does, okay? Anything else?
Examples and stories.
Okay, yes, examples and stories. And actually, thank you for sharing that, because I should have shared my own personal testimonial with the product. And I definitely recommend that you all share your personal testimonial. If you don't have one yet, borrow one from one of us. But I did share, I had a presentation the other night that I've used Arbonne's products for 30 years. And when they reformulated this line, I thought, oh, it's still gonna be great, right? But probably not much will change. I could not believe the difference in my skin, and shared a little bit about that. So how do you feel? Do you all feel like you can do this? Okay, and yes, Sue?
Julie, Jodi, I love that your words are so crafted. And so, I've been doing this for 15 years, so I know the information, but every time I listen to you, I hear words that I take home and use, like powerhouse. This is the serum is a powerhouse. And I always say, now I'm going to share with you the RE9, and you say, I get to share with you.
Right.
And it makes a difference. When you're sitting here listening, it shows your excitement.
Yes, well, thank you, Sue. Would you all agree that we feel more comfortable when we feel like when we feel confident about the job we can do? Okay? So, and when we're not comfortable, we tend to procrastinate, and maybe we won't present, we won't set up group presentations because we don't feel like we'll do any good. So I've said to team members, do you want to practice your presentation and just so you can feel confident in getting better? Yes, I do, great. Look at your calendar, set a 2-hour appointment with yourself. You guys, that's all it is. It's taking the card, standing up, looking at a pillow, getting your spouse, getting a child, and practicing. That's it. And I'm telling you, it's so much more fun when you can glance, and we have it in an outline form, but you feel like you can kind of have a conversation and a dialogue with people, okay? Alrighty, that's that. I'm looking forward to hearing the results you all are getting with that. And I'll be filming the other parts, the opening and the close, because there are ways that you can craft the close. And by the way, did you notice that I did a trial close in there? I hadn't given them the close sheet, but I said each of these individual products, when you become a preferred client, you can get it 20% off. But when you group it together as a set and add the Genius, your discount is doubled, and now you get 40% off, right? So you want to kind of clear any objection, like this sounds so great, but how much is it going to cost, right? And I mentioned the tool is $1,000 here. You spend a few $100s for one facial. This is only $99, right, that you can add to your order. So we're telling them in advance where they're like, well, maybe I do have an opportunity to get it. And then I feel like the way we go through our close sheet is very effective as well. Okay, so now let's get into the RE9 drop-off. So, all right, so we have our RE9 sets. And again, we present in groups or one-on-ones, okay? We present healthy living and skincare. And the great thing about having more than one product, like some companies have, having a variety, is we can introduce Arbonne to people with one, and again, once we bring them in, we can introduce them to the other. So some of you are going to be more inclined to leading with skincare, some more inclined to leading with nutrition, but really, what do we want to lead with? What's our best product? Yes, our business, okay? So any encounter that we have, whether it's a group or a one-on-one, we are looking for business partners. We're looking for customers who can turn into business partners later. Our DA in Scottsdale at the wine bar the other day, a gal stayed afterwards, dynamic gal. And I said, what's your story? How'd you get involved? She said, I hosted an Arbonne presentation for someone 5 years ago and I didn't buy a thing myself, right? She might have earned a couple things, but she said, this thing wasn't for me, but the person had kept in touch and she kind of followed them. And now, she is on fire. She just completed district. She is on her way. She's leading with the business. So again, every time you do a presentation, just say, hey, I am not finished getting paid, and I'm not finished with the benefit I can add. So why sample? Why try before you buy? Because let's face it, just the information alone, we have healthy happy hours all the time, or we do something on Zoom where people hear the information. You guys, I signed up somebody for our healthy living last night after somebody online posted, oh, I can't wait to have the brownies my child made, but I need to finish my cleanse first. Well, somebody I knew said, what cleanse are you doing? I texted her, I saw your comment about cleanse. If you want to hear the best one, sent her a video. She said, perfect timing, I'm in. How much? And honestly, she was at dinner, so we couldn't talk anyway. I sent her a screenshot of our plan, and she said, I'll call you with my credit card afterwards, right? So, why did I say that? Why did I give you that example? Try before you buy. Okay, the point is she didn't try anything. It was the information. It's how she could benefit. So we don't have to. But because we can with our anti-aging line, what benefits are there for them to try it? In a sample versus a kit. So let's talk about the benefits of a sample pack. When would we use those? Yes, if we're mailing to somebody out of town. I love when I'm talking to somebody about the business, mailing a packet with some things, even in advance, if possible. Or, once we have our Zoom, I can say you should be receiving your package tomorrow. I like to overnight things. It's $10. And it seems like they take it more seriously. And then we talk about using it right away. What else? When else would we give a sample pack? Maybe somebody that you've just met, okay? You happen to have one in your purse or in your man purse. No, and your gym bag, no. And so you, I don't ever recommend giving people a full-size set that you don't know, okay? So what are the benefits of having people use the full RE9 system?
Value, they see the value.
Okay, yeah, they see the value. Instead of squirting out of a little tube, they get to feel the mist, right, of the toner. They get to, I mean, these bottles are absolutely beautiful, right? And we do judge a book by the cover, right? And by the way, I just have to say this quote, Jim Rohn, father of personal development, always says, and this is something we got to think about for ourselves and how we present to people, is yes, it's the inside that counts. That's why it's so important to make our outside a good representation of our inside, okay? And so yes, the inside of the products count, but the outside has to match it, and it does. So value, why else, Sue?
People take ownership of it.
Yes, people take ownership of it, and they visualize. We talk about art. They're visualizing owning it on their counter, okay? That's the most important. We've got to get it back. There needs to be another encounter. So when we're loaning somebody the set, we're setting up an appointment to get it back. It's a reason, okay? So, you know, I thought through, and my husband helped me with this last night, there's several ways we can do this. And while the easy thing to train on is do A, B, C, and D every single time, I understand that situations change, okay? People that we meet with, it's kind of like we can have guidelines, but exact scripts are tough because every person we talk to is different. And so, so we are going to be loaning these to some people after meeting with them one-on-one about the business. Some people we're going to be taking straight to their house. But I want to tell you that when you have a couple RE9 sets, so I have one that I'm using myself and I have 3 extra. I'm looking to possibly buy a 4th because oftentimes I have all 3 out at once. All right, and if you let people use it for 3 days, if I have 3 out, that's up to 6 people a week that can be using it, right? 6 times 4, you can have 24 people a month using it. And we consider these our employees. Why? Yes, why do people hire employees? They help leverage their time, okay? So it's an investment, and if you have 1 extra set, 2 or 3 extra sets, and they're sitting, and you're paying that employee, okay, it needs to drive you nuts. You want to get that out there. Who are you loaning them to? Who are we giving these sets to? Okay, and who else? So new customers and existing customers. So one thing that we do is when somebody completes the Healthy Living Plan is send them a sample of our RE9, right? If somebody's in town, we can loan it to them, okay? There are many customers that I have that join for other products, and this is a great way for them to try. Now, do they have to? Some people I can just say, you need to buy this. You know, we have a 45-day money-back guarantee. You're gonna love it. I could send them some before and after pictures. But most of them are probably gonna be new prospects. Now, just a couple quick things about prepping your sets is, and I've seen all different things. Some people put primer in there. They put the Genius pads. They put the Ultra. I normally would be inclined to do that because I think the more they try, the more chances they're gonna love something. But 5 steps sometimes is definitely enough for some people. And I don't want them overwhelmed. Now, you can choose if you want to include the Ultra for some people. What I have done is when I've gone to pick it up, I've said, hey, when I come to get the products, I want you to get the chance to experience our Genius Ultra with some of our lifting eye cream. It's incredible. So I'll just have them try it there. But one thing, it's funny, you guys can't see it. I was going to show you what not to do. This is returned to me from somebody, and it's just gross. It has product all over it. It looks like somebody used dirty, makeup-y hands. So before you loan the set out, make sure it's in pristine condition. Clean every single product. And then you're going to want to either have a sample for the extra moisture, or I've ordered extra moisture because I asked them a couple questions before I loaned the set. I made a mistake. The first person I loaned to, I didn't ask what their skin type was. And then didn't check in that well during the time. And when I went to pick it up, she's like, oh, I have really dry skin and it just wasn't enough. And I'm like, can we do a redo? You know what I mean? So, so just make sure that's in there. We have an instruction card. Now Arbonne has instruction cards. I had this custom made from a graphic designer. You can have your name put at the bottom. It's $25 for her to do your name and number. Otherwise it says Building People Nations on it. It's super small. But on one side it tells some of the benefits and you can go through those when you give them the set. On the other side it goes through the steps and the instructions, okay? And again, I think it looks very professional. So that's that, you've prepped, okay? Now, the one other thing you're gonna wanna do is label the bottles with the steps. You guys, this is gorgeous, but I'm telling you, the writing, it's hard. Do you guys ever do it in the light? You're like this, what product is that? So we label them. I have a little label maker, and you're gonna label them with which step, and it just goes along with the card, and they can just line it up. I tell them just line it up in your counter and go through the steps. It's extremely simple. Don't put the labels on the lids, because people take off the lids and get them mixed up. You're just gonna wanna put them right up front. This kind of seems like a lot, it's not. You prep it and it's good to go for a couple of months, okay? So the one other thing that I would mention is on the night cream, we don't want a bunch of people sticking their fingers into the night cream. So what I do is either put the night cream in there and put use, do not use tube, or I'll just put a tube of the night cream in there. Okay, because Arbonne's now selling night cream samples individually. Now, when my night cream runs out, I will have that container, and I'll either put a tube in the container or just a spatula with a little bit with a single use for 3 nights. Does that make sense? Okay, so there's 4 steps to this. Ask, drop off, check in, pick up. Okay? Ask, drop off, check in, pick up. Let's say it together. Ask, drop off, check in, pick up. Okay, cool. So ask is reaching out, okay? And by the way, you guys, I want to give you a tip. You know what percentage of people answer their phones anymore? I think Eric Worre said 23% answer the phone. This has worked so incredibly for me, where I send people a text and say, hey, do you have, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm alone for the next hour, unbelievable. Do you have 3 minutes in the next hour that I could call you and just run something by you quickly? Or I'll just text them and say, hey, are you available in the next 30 minutes? Want to run something by you? It'll take 3 to 4 minutes. And I'm not telling, I did that 5 times, and like 4 out of 5 people responded immediately. Either yes, yeah, give me a call in 10 minutes, or yes, I'm available now. Or they'd say, oh, I'm so sorry, Jodi. I'm available between 2 and 3. Awesome, I'll call you then. Or the ones that don't get it, because I had a time frame, hey, I'm so sorry I wasn't available. I was at a school play when you texted. I can talk now, what's up? And I have just had such good response with that versus just calling and it going to voicemail, okay? So we ask, drop off, check in, pick up. Okay, so one of the ways that after we ask, that we drop off is just a typical one-on-one. If we're leading with the business, my goal is to meet with somebody and give them the big picture about Arbonne, the products, a little bit more about the RE9, and be able to communicate with them, to connect, to ask questions, to really talk to them about the business. And then when they take the set home, they're not just trying it to want to buy it for themselves, they're trying it as they're thinking about the business. So that employee is going to work in a different way. It's building belief in the business. And so really the ask for what I do most of the time is asking to meet one-on-one. Right? And that drop off is just bringing the product with you. Okay? So, and by the way, for those of you that aren't familiar, talk to your upline. We have training, and documents on doing a one-on-one presentation, just an outline. Pretty simple. We have a document called the Arbonne Advantage that we go through. And let me just show for those of you that are new. Right? That just kind of goes through what we do in Arbonne. We teach people how to switch, save, and earn. A little bit about Arbonne's background, pure, safe, and beneficial, what sets us apart, the type of products we carry, a little bit about network marketing, also known as social marketing, why Arbonne, why now, a little bit about the comp plan. And then at the end of the one-on-one, we ask them, where do you see yourself? Okay? So at the end of the one-on-one, we're saying, hey, Vicki, you know, most people are in one of a few places after hearing what you've heard, and I'm just curious so I know best how to, you know, support you or what the next step should be for you. Do you want to learn more about how to get Arbonne's products at a discount? Are you curious about the business and how this works, how we build, how we get paid? Are you looking to share with friends possibly and earn some products? So then she would say, what, if it's just product, we give the RE9, go through the tips that I'm going to go through now, and we set a time to follow up. Okay? If she wants to learn about the business, you guys, with one-on-ones, we set a follow-up appointment anyway. Okay? There's only so much we can share in one sitting. We want people to digest it. We want to give them a few things to take home and read, send them a couple videos, and then we're going to get together, and we have the information to get together with them in the follow-up. That's when they bring the set back. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So let's talk about the ask a little bit. So what, and everybody might not use this, but for most people, when you're kind of sketching out some verbiage to call somebody to ask them to take a look at the business, what are you using as a guideline? As a guideline for your, does anybody use the 4 quadrants of communication? Okay, so if you guys don't use it yet, the 4 quadrants of communication, I'm not going to do a training on it now, but basically there's 4 quadrants where you just fill in each area of how you're going to make an ask to somebody, okay? You share a fact, you share a belief, you share emotion, and then you ask them, all right? So make a note, talk to my upline about the 4 quadrants, okay? There are some scripts as well, but I'm telling you, there are certain people that the script you have doesn't fit for, and you want to fill in the 4 quadrants. There's been a ton of research done to increase the chance of a yes when you use the 4 quadrants. So when you use the 4 quadrants, if they say yes to meeting you, then great. I'm also going to bring our new anti-aging skincare set. It's unbelievable. If I loaned it to you, would you be open to trying it out for 3 days? By the way, we'll send you guys our notes. So 4 quadrants, if they say no, I have a friend in my neighborhood. No, I would never want to do that. I told her, you know, why I thought she was great, why I was excited about sharing with her, how I felt, my belief, and then I said, I want you to meet with me to hear more about this. And she said, never, I'd never do this. I said, okay, that's fair. I said, well, let me ask you this. And I told her that I had this anti-aging skincare. Of course, I'm always open. Okay? So if they say no, okay, I want to offer you an opportunity to use Arbonne's full-size new anti-aging line. I don't believe there's a better product on the market with cleaner ingredients and better results. My skin is transformed. I mean, say something bold. If I loaned it to you, would you be open to trying it out for 3 days? All right? Most people, I mean, I haven't had anybody say no yet. So another thing you can just do that's kind of more of a scripty, but it does include the 4 quadrants, is just, hey, I have 2 things to ask you. Art, I'd love for you to get to try, or I have 2 things to ask you. You can lead with the business or the products, but I might lead with the products. I'd love for you to get to try Arbonne's full-size new anti-aging line. I don't believe there's a better product on the market with cleaner ingredients and better results. If I loaned it to you, would you be open to trying it out for 3 days? Okay?
Will it fit in my man purse?
Yes. Yes, it will. And so then once you say yes, and you know what? I would love to share with you why I've started a business with Arbonne. I mean, this may not be a fit for you, but I've said to people, there's nothing else in this world that I'd rather do. It's the most incredible company and opportunity. And I would love to meet you for coffee for 45 minutes to just share, and I could give you the set then, okay? So the goal, you guys, again, we reach out, we present. Our goal is to really present. Yes, I saw a training online where this girl is like, I do this so fast that I like to drop it off at the door when they're not even there and text them the instructions, and then I have them leave it outside and I pick it up. And it's like, and she's like, and I just have these things going. Well, honestly, you guys, in our business, we're not just trying to sell product, okay? We're duplicating ourselves. We're looking for partners to spread the word. And so we want to meet with them. So now, for the drop-off, so you guys, that's leading with the business, leading with the product again. You guys got that. Why would we just lead with the product sometimes and not with the business? Does that ever happen? Because we really want to always share both and marry the two. But are there ever people that you don't want to share the business with? Okay? It's just the fact. I mean, there could be somebody that you love, but they're just like, oh my gosh, I just became the CEO of our company, and I'm flying to Atlanta for a month to train. You're not like, will you meet with me about an opportunity? I mean, you know what I mean? But then there are some people, I mean, there are just some people that you'd love to serve as a customer, but you don't see them in this business, okay? So that's where you just lead with the products. Okay, so we've asked, right? Now we have the drop-off. So when we're having a one-on-one, or if we're at their door, we're gonna go through tips for use, and we're gonna set a follow-up with them, okay? So here's just some tips really quickly. When you're at the door, or after you've done your one-on-one presentation, before you hand them the set, just, hey, Susie, I'm curious, are you more normal to oily or normal to dry?
Normal to oily.
Normal to oily. Is oiliness a problem?
Sometimes.
Okay, so I got this from my mother, Julie Nocrum, which most of what I share I got from my mom. But I love how just, is oiliness a problem? It's kind of like art sharing. Hey, follow up with the benefit. We want to get more detailed about our questions too. So if oiliness is a problem, what are some tips that we might share in that case when they're using this set?
A little goes a long way.
Yes, I like to say a dot does a lot. Okay, just remember, Susie, a dot does a lot. For somebody like Susie, where oiliness is a problem, you may not even use a night cream. I used to not use a night cream because I have more oily skin. This one I can use, so I'm like, just use a tiny bit of night cream. You might even wet your fingers to smooth it around. And it shouldn't be a problem at all. So dot does a lot. What if they say they're dry? Is dryness a problem? No, I just would say I'm a little more dry. Extra moisture should be fine. But you guys, if dryness is a problem, one thing I recommend adding is the oil, the facial oil. It really is phenomenal. So I have that with me just in case, and I'll say a couple drops of this is magic, right? So you might need an extra boost. You could try it after the first night and see, but you could add a couple drops to your night cream. Now, some of you may be thinking, this sounds like a lot. You guys, executive national vice presidents have come into the business this way after having a transformation in their skin and going, people have to learn about this and it's good for you too, so it's worth it. Okay, the second thing I say is, okay, now I'm loaning this to you. In exchange, you've got to promise me a couple things. One, you are going to use this exclusively morning and night, every step, even washing your face. Okay, because what I've learned is you really don't get the benefits if you don't use it. And so I show them the instruction card. I tell them 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes at night, show them the night cream sample, walk through all of that. And then what I recommend is saying, hey, Susie, can I share a couple of quick reasons why the results are so incredible, even without using harmful chemicals? So I think about, you guys, there's several people I've just handed it to, and there's a card, and I'm like, I hope they read that one paragraph. But I think about the value people get in the group presentation and all that they learn. And I'm like, the people I'm loaning the set to aren't learning that unless I have a one-on-one first. So pick out of that group presentation, those cards, a couple things that you want to share, right? And you can make it your own. I mean, I'll probably end up typing up a few things for people to say at the door, but think about the things that I shared earlier about, you need healthy nutrition for your face, and you might even share not everything absorbs, or a lot of those chemical products are overstimulated healthy cells, Orange stem cells, that's on the card. You can even show them the card and just say, I'm sure you've heard vitamin C is important. I mean, this is the finest quality that's going to give you incredible, I just want to share with you why you're going to be feeling and seeing a difference, okay? All right. And then just say, I can't wait to hear about your experience. And I've been sharing, because you guys, I've gotten 3 texts from customers in the last 2 weeks at the 2-week mark thanking me. One person sent a before and after picture and said, I took one of my skin, because we're telling people to do that, and said, look at my dark spots, they're fading, it's only been 15 days. Another person said, I just wanted to let you know my husband's commented on my skin twice in the last couple of days and said how great it looks. And then another one said, Jodi, I have to admit, I was a little skeptical at first. I'm on the 2-week mark. I can't believe the difference in my skin. So I'll share it with them. You're going to be able to feel a difference. You're going to be able to see some difference, but I just want to let you know, you use this for 2 weeks or 30 days, just to kind of give them an expectation. Okay, so we've asked, we've dropped off, and at the drop off, given them a couple tips. Check in. So we want to kind of stay on their mind. How many of you have given people products and then they've just said after 3 days, oh, I didn't get a chance to use it, it's on my front doorstep? A lot of times people don't use it. I mean, I look in the eye and say, listen, I have a list of people waiting to use this. You promise you can make a minute or 2 minutes at night, and just kind of hold them accountable a little bit in a comfortable way. But so you'll text to see if they have any questions. And I like to say the next day, hey, how does your skin feel? What's your favorite part so far? All right. And then before you meet, confirm, I'll be coming over tomorrow. Now, one thing that you want to do when you drop off, whether you're having a one-on-one or you're at their door, is you're setting up that appointment 3 days later and saying, hey, exchange for using this. 1, you got to promise me you're going to use it every day. 2, I'd love to meet with you for 10 minutes to get your feedback. And if you love it, I'll show you how to get it 40% off. You guys, I've heard a lot of people training, hey, I just want to get your feedback. Do we have some time to meet? And then they end up asking them about it, asking them to buy, asking them about the business. I just don't agree. I don't think that feels comfortable. It feels a little bit like a bait and switch to me when we're like, I just want to get your feedback. No, I want you to buy and I want you to partner with me if this is a fit for you. So I just like to say, hey, I'd love 10 minutes to get your feedback, and if you love it, I'll show you how you can get it at 40% off, right? Okay. All right, so we've asked, we've dropped off, we've checked in, and now the pickup. So you guys, the pickup, just closing with this, is really simple. You're either doing a business follow-up, which those of you that have been trained on doing a one-on-one, we do a follow-up a few days later. You just do the business follow-up. And you open with asking how they like the products and did they watch the video you sent, and then you're going through the next step. If it's just products, you didn't introduce the business to them, you come with your close sheets. Ask them a few questions, have them try the Ultra, and then you can just say, would you like for me to quickly show you how to get this for 40 or 50% off? Because remember, they can become a consultant. Okay? So I have all of this. I can send you my notes. I know you guys have been taking notes. Was this helpful? Yes. In your mind, can you see how this works? Yes. All right. So again, we ask, drop off, check in, pick up, okay? And we can do it in several different scenarios. Alrighty, the last thing I will say is if they haven't used it, pick it up anyway. Somebody told me to do this. I was not coachable. I didn't listen. And I had somebody that promised they'd use it, and then when I was supposed to pick it up, oh my gosh, I haven't used it yet. I'll totally use it. Okay, I extended it another 3 or 4 days. They didn't use it again. So pick it up and say, you know what, I need to grab it. I'm so sorry you didn't get, you weren't able to get the benefits or didn't have the opportunity. Happy to set another time. Maybe next week, when would be good? It's an extra trip, you guys. It's worth it. It shows them, oh my gosh, this has value. And then when they use it again, they'll really, pay better attention. So just do it, okay? All right, how are we doing on time? You guys need a break? I know we started 10 minutes late. 5-minute break? Okay, super. All righty.